Hi everyone. Today I'll be making a chocolate cake with sauerkraut. Yes, sauerkraut. This is a Pennsylvania Dutch recipe, and my grandfather was part Pennsylvania Dutch. So what all goes into the chocolate cake with sauerkraut? 1/2 cup butter, which is 1 stick, 1 1/2 cup sugar, 3 eggs, and I'm going to soften the butter and let the eggs get to room temperature, even though the recipe does not call for that. 1 teaspoon vanilla, 2 cups flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup cocoa, 1 cup water, and the star of the show, 1 8-ounce sauerkraut, drained, rinsed, and finely chopped. This is 16 ounces. I couldn't find 8 ounces anywhere, so I'll be using half of this. So let's begin. So being as I'm doing the old-fashioned Pennsylvania Dutch recipe, we're to grease and flour the pan, so that's what I'm going to do instead of using the Baker's Joy spray. And set that aside. So you take a large bowl, dump in your 1 1/2 cups of sugar and your 1 stick of butter, and cream that until light. Then you add your eggs one at a time, beating after each addition. And now the last egg. Then take your 1 teaspoon of vanilla and add that and mix that in. And I'm just going to use a spoon for that, then that way I can also make sure that everything on the sides and on the bottom are fully incorporated. Preheat your oven to 350. So I bought this sifter at the thrift store. It's an old-timey one. I thought that would be perfect to use, and it's bigger than my mom's. So you want to sift your flour. Your salt, your baking soda, your baking powder. And I'm going to sift that down just a little bit. And your cocoa. And then just sift them all together. Oh, I like this one a lot better than my mom's. I'll still use my mom's when I do her recipes. And give that a mix so they're fully incorporated. All right, set that aside for just a second while I clean up my mess. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to alternate the dry ingredients, mixing them into the wet ingredients, and alternate them with the water. So first we're going to add some dry ingredients and mix that. Well, I'm not going to tell Dave that this has sauerkraut in it until after he tastes it. He's probably going to ask, and I'm going to tell him he has to taste it first, and then he's probably going to think it's got dandelions in it or something. I'll add a little bit of water and mix that, which will help with the sides too. And we'll add some more of the dry ingredients and stir that in. Okay, add more water. That way I can get the sides again. We'll add more of the dry ingredients. Just by alternating it, it makes it so it's not so hard to stir. I like that idea. And they generally suggest that you start with the flour mixture and end with the flour mixture, so it didn't say so in the instructions, but that's what I'm going to do just from what other recipes I've seen. Add the rest of the water. I think this is going to be a pretty creamy cake. Well, at least before we add the sauerkraut anyway. All right, now we'll add the rest of the dry mix. And we'll stir that in. All right, so that looks pretty good. So here is supposedly 8 ounces of sauerkraut. I drained the whole jar, I rinsed the whole jar, I squeezed out the excess from the whole jar and then laid it out and divided it in half and then chopped this up. So we'll dump the sauerkraut in there and then just fold that in. But I've got it pretty much folded in, it looks like. So take your prepared pan, dump in the cake mix. Smells good. Smells like chocolate. And then spread that out. Looks like a nice batter. And you can't really see the sauerkraut in there. Put your chocolate cake with sauerkraut in a preheated 350-degree oven for 35 to 40 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Alright, so the cake has been in the oven for 38 minutes. And it looks done. We'll do the toothpick test. I always call it toothpaste. We will do the toothpick test. Stick that in there. And it come out clean. We'll let it cool completely. And then I'll be making some frosting. Hopefully I'll be making chocolate buttercream frosting. So here is the chocolate cake with sauerkraut. And it's frosted with chocolate buttercream frosting. I will put the lid on it to keep it nice and fresh, and I will serve it as soon as Dave comes home. So here is the chocolate cake, wink wink, and I'll let Dave go ahead and do a taste test.
Is this just chocolate cake or what?
No, there's something in it.
There's something in it.
Yep.
Do I need to keep cutting to get to the something?
You
or?
probably won't see it.
Well,
Does it taste just like a chocolate cake?
it tastes like chocolate cake to me. Is there a leprechaun in there somewhere? Or? I was going to say I keep making little bites in there and I'm thinking that I'm going to see a marble or a Cracker Jack prize or something.
No, it's chocolate cake with sauerkraut.
Oh, really? There's sauerkraut in this?
There is sauerkraut in there. 8 ounces worth of sauerkraut in the cake.
Really? Is it all in the batter, or is there some in the...
Yeah, just in the batter.
Well, I sure don't see any of it. And I certainly don't taste any of it. Because I'm not much of a sauerkraut fan.
I know.
Well, this is sauerkraut chocolate cake. Tastes pretty good.
Recipe deals for easy meals. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is Cooking with Sherry. Until we meet again.